Test, test, test. Shane, what's the audio like on that, bud? Is that clear? Welcome, Shanko. Yeah, that's clear. Yes, sweet. Just yell out if there's any issues with that brand new mic. I just got a pop filter on it. What has been happening, buddy? Sorry, I'm in between text messages and all sorts of crap. Oh, making sales on eBay too. Just going to post this up on, where are we? Here we go. Let's share that goodness. Wait, can we share that? Yeah, we can. Been busy, mate. Yeah, tell me about it. Everyone's the same. Everyone's friggin' plates are full. I think I've got enough for about 10 plates of stuff, and I've got a tiny little teacup to fit it all in. That's about how it feels. I almost canceled the live. I'm like, no, I got to push through this. Just because of family, you know. This time of night is like the kids are getting ready to go to bed and have dinner and all that sort of stuff. All right, let me just pop this up. And we'll share that too. Let's go to whereabouts are you at, Shanko? Which part of yeah, mostly. That's right. Whereabouts you live? Mighty Penrith. You're a Panthers man? All right, let's put this on. Sorta, yeah. Do you follow the NRL? Sorry, I'm just trying to post stuff at the same time. Trying to get some people. I used to go for I used to be a big Balmain Tigers supporter as a kid, and then I hated West, and they merged us with West. And I was like, oh my god, you got to be kidding me. So I'm still, yeah, they just destroyed my team. I'd rather follow the New South Wales Rugby League, where they're still called Balmain in the second tier team, the second tier comp, you know. All right, let's post that bad boy. Pop that over there. All right, what's going on over here? No, thank you. All right, let's close that down. While we are waiting for people to come in, got a couple of some decent mail here. I wonder if I can set Instagram up on this device. How's that going to look? Maybe. Oh, is it going to sit in there? Probably not. I can't see. Can I switch that around? Yeah, I can. Oop. That's not going to have the best view. Mightn't worry about. That's not going to sit properly. Maybe. If we move that back a bit. So what is everybody collecting these days? Anyone PCing some hardcore stuff? All right, what do we got here? This might have been my McLeod auto. Maybe. Oh, I think it is. Thank you, Jason from Cardboard Kings. If you're watching, I think he does follow us. Thank you for sending that back, buddy. Hey, look at that. We get a shot of that. Bit of brightness there. McLeod auto. And that is, I've got a matching pair of those now. Look at that. That is sick. to go along with this bad boy. Oh yeah, the 20. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty sick drop. The traders are actually getting really good. I bought a bunch of was it this year or last year? This year, I think it was 2021. They had some really, really good stuff. I didn't get much good stuff. The drop rates are pretty low, which means that the rare stuff is up in price when you actually get it. I think I bought half a box and didn't get much quality. I think the box had already had all its main drops. Cardboard Kings. Shout out to Cardboard Kings on eBay. Give them some love. Plenty of quality up there. All right. All right, I'm going to get the side angle going on Instagram. Can we flick that around? No, that's not a good idea. Let's do it that way. Yeah. All right. Did you I'm not laughing. Hey, that's real. Some of those Fortnite cards are insane. There was one guy I was looking at. He put up his PC and it was just all. He had a little bit of Pokemon, but like I have a little bit of Pokemon cards. I'd love to get more into it, to be honest, especially with kids in that. That's they love it. I've got a whole bunch of actually. Next video that I'm doing, my daughter ripped a whole lot of that Macca's stuff, and she wants to send it to. Oh, the price is ridiculous. She wants to send it to I just gave her, she's only 6. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. But it's either TCG or trading card grading or something like that. They both do they're like heavy on the Pokemon, but they're Australian companies. I'm going to be doing a live on that. And let me just check just check that Instagram's okay. And I'm going to open these. I think I've got a couple of slabs here. I think I've got a Kobe Bryant and a Larry Bird, a PSA and an SGC. We'll just check that in a second. Yeah, I think the Pokemon is really good. It gives you a good excuse to to spend a whole lot of money on that. I haven't done anything stupid like buy a whole box and rip it, but I have been very tempted to do something like that. But I'm going to definitely put up there's going to be a couple of videos. Going to do some card grading review ones on the TCG and the trading card grading. They're two actual separate companies, and probably the Perth grading company, I think they're called PCG. There is one other one, but until they update their website and make it a bit more functional, I'm not going to use them just on that. But their slabs look okay. But the TCG ones, their slabs look awesome, really good. So look out for that. I'm also going to do probably like a comparison video, like of all the Aussie companies that do it, and sort of their strengths and weaknesses and all that sort of stuff. Welcome, Instagram. Thank you. I'm just you've got the side angle. It is me. It's your boy Faz. We do have some cool stuff happening on YouTube. All right, just talking to the. What is this one? These are from the States. These ones, so I'm gonna have to get the scissors out. They've gone ham on that one. I think this is the Larry Bird. So I'm building up a decent PC of Larry Bird. I know there's I want to get all the classic ones. I'm not really big on the modern stuff, only because it's just so volatile. And I think people, when they first come in, get really confused. Yeah, these people don't even know. That's right, that you can grade cards. Yeah. I remember when I first came across Card Grading Australia, and I think my first slabs are in the low thousands of theirs from a few years ago. Like they just didn't, now the latest one I got back, they were at like 85,000 in my latest, that bulk that I put up the other day. So they must have done, if you work it out, because I had subs come in almost every month last year. And I think at the start of the year, they were around 6,000 or 7,000. And at the end, they were like 70,000. So if you figure that out, it would have done 50 or 60,000 cards in that year. That's pretty insane for an Aussie company. And they were closed, if you remember. Oh, look at that. Here we go. Instagram, hello. That is a PSA 9 Larry Bird, 1989. The Boston Goat. The White Mamba. How long? Oh, a few years, man. When I get my first card graded, I want to say 2018 or 2019. So, the boys from Cherry. There's no free give outs for you guys, all right? Not until I get my latest sub back. Who's controlling Cherry? Welcome, guys. All right, let's open this other one up. These. What is this one? Yeah, this is I think it's a second year Kobe, I think. Welcome, Josh. Wait, is this not? Have I got this wrong? Is this something else? I got a lot of packages coming in, so I lose track sometimes. Oh, no, it is. Okay, it is what I thought it was. Just cleaning up my rubbish. Hold on. Over there. And a very lovely, someone that doesn't know. Let's get that out of the case because all right, and we got our is that the Metal Universe, Skybox Metal Universe, second year. Got a really sick deal on that one. Yeah, those. Just showing the Instagram people there. If you're on Instagram, jump over to the YouTube channel if you want to participate. If we get up to enough people, we'll run this. I've only just started streaming live on YouTube because my account's only just been activated due to the number of subs. You've got to have a lot of sort of metrics in place before you can unlock your different uses. Welcome, Mark. Welcome. If you're new to this, guys, just say g'day when you come in, and I'm just having a chat with Shane about NRL Tradies 2022, the release, a couple other things, going through some mail. What is everybody up to this lovely evening? Did anybody get any of the 2021 supremacy, the AFL supremacy? Yeah, NRL cards. Yeah, the this year's Traders was actually really, really good. The quality, I probably got half a box of it. I didn't get much, which is probably a good thing because it means the rates, the drop rates are much lower. That means the values are usually higher. So I mean, I had a couple of inserts, but junk food. Who does that on a Friday night? No, not me. My missus is making pasta. But I'm not going to eat, not yet. Friday night, Uber Eats. Yeah, new footy stars, definitely. The Select, it's really hard to beat that brand, isn't it? Platinum Standard. No, buddy. No. Someone else asked me that. I don't know if that was you the other day, Mark, that asked me. Someone asked me that if I've done a PSG or they wanted a comparison. I have not used. Are they an Australian company or are they international? I am going to be doing I've got it all penned down. Aussie. Okay, I'll definitely check them out for sure. I've got in the works, and I was talking about it with Shane before about we were talking about the TCG and also in particular Pokemon and all that sort of stuff and how you can get into that with your kids. But I'm going to be doing the tcg.com.au and also trading card grading, I think it is, .com.au. Both have got pretty nice websites and they've got pictures of the slabs. They make really nice looking slabs. The Pokemon cards are what they, and the other TCG stuff is what they specialize in. I'm going to be doing some reviews / submission guides on those, and also probably maybe a comparison vid of all the different Aussie companies. I'll eventually do like a international one as well, where I review and put together, Beckett, SGC, and PSA and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I do definitely want to do the Aussie thing because now there's not just CGA. There's a bunch of these other ones that have come up. Mint collect. Yes, definitely. You talk about Mint from Sunshine Coast? Yes. If that's who you're talking about, 100%. Purchased plenty off of them. Good bunch of guys. They've got a shop on the Sunshine Coast where they actually like a physical shop, like Cherry, not as big as Cherry, but yeah, look them up. I'm trying to think of the guy who's in charge there. Yeah, good bunch of guys. Yeah, I mean, I've used a lot of these guys. I know a lot of them. So I buy a lot of. Most of those guys sell on eBay, so you can buy off their stores on eBay. Yeah, they do the HGA subs. Yeah, they do. They do the bulk ones. I haven't used them as a sub, and I only did my first HGA sub probably a couple months ago. I am going to be doing a bigger one because you used to have to get through that queue system that they had, which was ridiculous. And I tried for about 3 months and I couldn't get through. But I since realized that I don't think they had that queue system because when I went on there, my sub went straight through and I didn't have to queue. But if you look at where it is, it's just stagnant. Like they're like the new PSA, HGA. They're going to be so backed up with the standard economy type of submissions that, they're massively backlogged. Yeah, they are. I've got a sub with them and it has not moved. It shows you the progress bar. It's terrible. So I am about to get back another PSA sub from SLAB, which was really good. I don't know. It's not just poor customer service. It's like they've just forgotten about that. I think they're not interested in the bottom sort of level guys. They're just not, the way that they've bumped up because a company like that could have easily just opened up more submission centers. They're hiring graders, all that sort of stuff, but they didn't. They just increased their prices, which is, I've SGC all the way. If you're going to go to the States, SGC. Beckett is pretty much like PSA with how they've just increased the price rather than increasing their service centers. And putting on more people to deal with the lower end. They've separated themselves to the top end of the market by making the bottom level of grading more expensive. So while they still look cool in the slabs and they do command, like the Beckett and PSA definitely have a clear financial edge on their slabs. You know that when you sell them, they go for way more than the rest. But I think SGC are climbing up, definitely into third spot. Maybe if I haven't used them for a couple of months, but maybe they could be the front runner, like especially if they're able to churn through economy type submissions and the tier above that without too much turnaround time, without backlogging too much. If they can do that, you definitely see them rise to the top for sure. But I was really hoping that HGA didn't get backlogged as much, just because of this. The thing they have going for them is those slabs, the labels. You know, they're just one of a kind. They're really good. You know, and the way they do the colorful splashes and all that sort of stuff. But the chances now, if you do people are just sending through 50, 100 cards to get graded, that's going to take ages. So there's millions of people doing it. One company though that I am gonna rave about, not rave, but for is Card Authority. They don't grade, but they slab in team colors. If you haven't done some subs with these guys, definitely really good bunch of guys. They stuffed up the first time I did a submission. Yeah, Card Authority, I like them, and their customer service is really good, and that's what I was just getting at. For PC, definitely, if you've got stuff that you're not really worried about grading, but you still want to get it protected, they're a good price, and their labels are just amazing. Yeah, Card Authority. Good bunch of guys too. I'm just trying to think of his name. He actually rang me. He was watching my YouTube, and he noticed that he had slabbed incorrectly on two or three of my slabs, and he actually rang me. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and he just had this random number come through on my phone, and it was him. And he rang me personally, and he's just like, "Hey mate, really sorry about that, blah blah blah." And long story short, he just said send them back, and we'll reslab them, and they did. They did it free. So had all three of them reslabbed with the correct labels. But yeah, their labels are really good. That's the McLeod hand signed All Australian right there, and the Basher Hooley one right there. I've got a whole bunch that I had done from them, and I've got another sub in with them at the moment that has a Peter Dacos. I have seen the current label. Yes, Craig sent me a picture. I haven't seen it in an actual slab. I've just seen a picture of it. Yes. It looks way better than the standard default one they were going to use. I would still say it's not perfect, but it's a lot more colorful. And I think they're going to use a different one again for Pristine Plus. They've got a Pristine Plus now. So similar to how SGC they've got two 10s. They've got I think it's a Gem Mint 10 and a Pristine 10. So I think they're going to do that. They're going to have like a regular 10, Pristine, and then Pristine Plus, because their system is sort of a cross between SGC and PSA, the way that they grade, and their scale system, where you got a Gem Mint is a 9.5, although PSA's Gem Mint is a 10. So it's, but the plus thing is cool. Yeah, the new label, it's got the sort of glowy gold thing around. I've already seen a lot of people sort of dissing it and saying, we're not happy about that. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, compared to what they had, you've got to, at least they listened to their customers, especially how busy they were, because they were getting smashed. They graded over 50,000 cards. I think it's about 60, maybe 70, because they're into the 80s now. I'd say 90s, because I got my last sub back. They'd be probably up near 100,000 slabs. So if you think about that, they've probably graded maybe 80,000 cards in the last 12 months. So I don't know how many that is every day, but that's a lot. Resubmit. There was something in the email where I don't know if they regrade. You'd have to have a read it. few of the new labels. They did do an intermediate label as well, though. Oh, there's already new ones on eBay. Okay, that's really interesting. I haven't even looked, to be honest, but they did say that they've already started using it. So I think people that were getting subs back at the end of January and into February, I think everyone from this point on, and I just sent through 4 subs that I had sitting there and I didn't want to waste them on the old label. So I've got some really cool cards coming back. I had a Tony Liberatore serial numbered card, which is really cool. I got a whole bunch off of Cherry. Shout outs to Cherry. I know you're on this stream. Cheers, bro. Went in the Prestige break, 2010 Prestige. One with Dusty, or was it 2011? The one that has Dusty rookie. And I got the Bulldogs, so I got a whole bunch of really cool cards because I did that and the honor roll, or whatever it is, honors. That was really cool. Welcome, Shane. Yeah, no probs, buddy. No probs. Getting up. We're punching up, getting closer to 1,000 subs too. Once we get 1,000 subs on YouTube, we'll be able to really pick up some momentum. So we've got some big things coming from this channel. So stay tuned, definitely. Once we get up, I think we're about 800 and something now. Really had a smashing month, really, really breakthrough month. So which is good. A lot of support from people, a lot of people. Appreciate you guys always sending me a message. I have had some interesting messages, but people saying things, if your channel blows up too big, you're going to sell out and all that. And I'm like, not really, no. So I'll always stay true to what I'm doing, which is card grading. Shane and Shane. You guys can ask me anything. I've been doing the card grading thing for a few years, so I know a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm the most adverse, but I've got a shit ton of graded cards. I've sold a lot of graded cards too. So shout outs to all you people that have supported me on eBay. Appreciate it. I know there's some of you in there. And stay tuned for my next lot of subs when I get the new lot of cards back from CGA. They're going to be the new labels, so it's going to be plenty of cool shit coming back. I think it's going to be mostly go the Pies. Tony, you are the man. Tony, was that you in the comments in the other video? I think it might have been. You're a legend, buddy. Yes, and Tony, I've got a Peter Dacos hand signed card coming back from Card Authority Australia, and that is going to look absolutely smashing in a slab. Absolutely smashing. Had to pay a little bit for it because it's the Collingwood GOAT himself. So it wasn't cheap, but definitely worth it. But that's what it's about, isn't it? Most of your PC cards. I don't know how much I'd get if I sold my PC. I've got a little bit of TCG. I would say Pokemon of a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to profess. Bear23, what's up? Long-time supporter. Bear23 also. Shout out to Bear23. Bear23 has a YouTube channel too. Cheers for tuning in. AFL and sports cards. Obviously NBA and AFL. I used to collect NRL cards way back in the day when I was a kid. I'm trying to maybe thinking about branching into soccer as well, or football as it's actually called. No, not into American football and baseball. It's way too volatile. Do you guys see what happened? I think it was this week and last week with that. I mean, it was ridiculous. If anyone's in the MySlabs Facebook group, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A whole lot of sellers got banned because that one guy, I can't remember what his name is. I don't know what his name is, but I think he's a pitcher. his cards went through the roof, and people had already had him up for sale. And because I don't follow the baseball, so I've got no idea what his name is. But basically, they were blocking buyers and saying, "No, sorry, I didn't want to sell it actually." And there was tons of them. They all got banned. There was on eBay as well. So I found that the football world over there and the baseball's really, and even the NBA is as well. Someone has a good game and their cards are 1,000% more the next day, which is just stupid. But the football is out of control, and so is the baseball. So it was the football, not the baseball. It was the football. There was the guy retired that the one of the goats of the game, and then there was two other players' cards just went through the roof. No, I've never followed or collected, I should say. I've watched games, but I've never collected Major League Baseball or the NFL. Tom Brady retired, but there was another guy whose cards went through the roof, and he was getting sellers banned from blocking the sales after they'd already been sold. So that was disgusting reading that and reading through the comments. I always read the comments. But yeah. Burrow was the guy I'm talking about. Thank you for pointing that out. So I don't know what happened with Burrow, but his cards basically 1,000%ed overnight. And sellers who had him up long time on their eBay accounts or whatnot, basically all were selling it too cheap as what they thought, and it just went to crap. And it created a shitstorm because a lot of the buyers get on when someone has a good game or whatever, and they know they're going to go up, so they get in cheap, they're going to resell it. But a lot of those guys who didn't adjust their prices, I'm not sure if they're slammers. What are slammers? What happens when I switch to this screen here? Because I sussed out this afternoon with my daughter, I've narrowed down 5 cards, and it's going to be one of these cards that I give away. So I've put in, I don't know if you guys can actually see my screen, but I've put in a spinner, and whatever it spins on is going to be the thing. And then I've got a YouTube comment picker, which will randomly pick you guys, and it's just going to throw out for the SLAB giveaway. But I'll slowly start showing you the cards that I'm going to give away. Oh, got some Instagram people over here. Sorry, I'm just going to welcome. Thank you, old school cards. Just showing the cards that we got here. We got the Bashahuli. Is that Select Champions? Yeah. So 2013 Premiership star Bashahuli, robbed in 2017. All you Richmond supporters out there, robbed of the Norm Smith. He was best on ground in 2017, not Dustin Martin. You heard it first here, and that's word. I'm not even kidding either. He was the best on ground. Absolutely tore Adelaide a new one. That's card number 1 in rotation. So most of these I'd estimate something like that. He's retired now, so I know he's not like a Dustin Martin type, but he easily would probably fetch $50. Oh, hold on. Just got my son banging on my door, guys. I'll be 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. So the Bashahuli. Most of these cards, I think, between probably $30 and $50, maybe more. There is a couple of interesting ones here, and I'll slowly release these as more people join the stream. Sorry, Shane. What are slammers, if you don't mind? Sorry, I just read the last comment there. Just trying to figure that out. I did see that someone said they were grading Tarzos back there, and I don't know if you're the person. The other Shane. Oh, it's CGA grade Tarzos now. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, Tarzos. Yeah. Someone had a YouTube channel. There's another Australian guy with he's a little bit smaller than me, but he's got a good channel, and he puts up his stuff. He actually graded a whole bunch of the Tarzos. I don't know if you're in the audience tonight, but I like your channel, and I just did see the video where you put all the Tarzos up, and they looked pretty good. I think they were older ones. Sorry, I can't actually see. If you're on the Instagram, it's sort of the screen is sideways. I don't think I can adjust this thing because I don't do Instagram lives very often. But shout outs to, there's a whole bunch of you on there. Okay. Welcome aboard. Friday Night Vibes, people. Good stuff. Where are we? How's that audio? Is that still okay? The pitch is okay? Just to adjust it a few times because it's a brand new Blue Yeti. So this is what all the podcasters use. Yeah, sick. Second on rotation for the giveaway is, and I had to think long and hard about this because this just came back in my bulk PSA submission, but I thought I'm going to do it. Yeah, cheers, Josh. Thanks, buddy. Is on Instagram, you can see that 1994 Michael Jordan, top Stadium Club. Now, Stadium Club, one of my all-time favorite, especially the 94 and the 93, 94 and 95 editions. That super gloss look that they had, criminally underrated. They probably did, especially 94, they probably mass produced it a little bit too hard, but it still is just a sick looking series. But that is MJ triple double PSA 6, excellent condition. That's going to be second on rotation here. So that's going to be any of you MJ fans out there, and his cards always do pretty well. Just a great looking card. And I'll get to some of these other ones in a second. Do we have any Richmond supporters on? No, you probably opt for the Basher Hooley. Just going to adjust that volume for a second. Has anyone actually used the tcg.com.au? Tops are coming back. And I just got a pre-order of, shout out to Cherry, pre-order of the Tops Chrome. The Tops Chrome is coming back this year, 2022. I got a box for just under $400 off the Cherry Web pre-order. I don't know if it's sold out. I think it has because a lot of their pre-order stuff does. But Tops definitely coming back, Mark. That is going to be fantastic. I like Panini, but do I like them more than Tops? No, I don't. I think they also, and don't get me wrong, every card company has to flood the market. That's just what they got to do. I get that. But yeah, I don't know. You see some of those cards, and maybe when Tops come out, and they might do the same thing as Panini. And I don't know. Are they still going to be making cards together, or is Tops taking the license and just being the sole provider of cards? The redemptions thing, man. Don't even get me started on that. Like, seriously, that's a joke. If you go to, if you're in all the groups on Facebook, how many of them never get their redemptions, or they get an email going, "Oh, sorry, we lost your card. Can we give you something else?" It's like, oh, that's cool. Okay, so there'll still be Panini because a lot of people love Panini. I think the one series I do like on the Panini, it's way too expensive though. It's similar to the Supremacy, is the Flawless. If you look at the Flawless, the the cards look almost identical to the Supremacy set. Really expensive though, like Supremacy, really expensive. You get cards that are going in for the thousands, but really cool looking cards. They do have some good releases, the Panini, but Prism was a hit. You can't say it's not. That is going to be interesting though, if Topps and Panini are competing for a share of the market, the same market. How is one going to gain an edge over the other, or Topps just going to make what they've always done? I noticed, they're coming back with Topps Chrome, so you'd suggest that at least come back with that same platform that they had, and then maybe they'll try and build on that and put some other things in. Excuse me. But yeah, that's going to be super interesting. I'm really excited. I don't know if I'm going to rip the box, because I'm really tempted to, or sell it and make more. I don't know. You get those impulses when you get a box and you're just like, I've got to rip this open now. 2 autographs per box, I think, in the Chrome. And then I think it's 100 card base set. So it shouldn't be too hard to complete the set. Although I don't know how many cards you get in a box. So that's going to be interesting, because it's not like the old days where you'd get about 300 or 400 cards in a box. Now you only get, a pack might only have 4 cards or 5 cards. So the game has changed a lot, around that. And it's just, some of those cards, they're not worth that much, the base ones, but the packs, we're lucky that we don't have the same. Well, we sort of do, but the scale that it happens in America, where the flippers, they just clean out Target, they clean out Kmart. It happens a little bit here, but it's not on the same scale. You can still buy stuff, They sell everything 10x after that, just the base level stuff, which is just stupid. Third on the rotation, Jack Zeeble, Gem Mint 9.5 gold. Any North fans out there, get amongst it. I had a couple other Zeebles as well come in on that last submission. And I thought, you beauty, there'll be some North fans out there. Well, we got a couple left here. So, guys, just a heads up too. The way that it's going to be picking the winners is commenting. So if you're sitting there in the audience and you would like to have a chance to win a slab, you have to comment, because it's going to select random comments for the winner. So keep that in mind. Okay. That is how it works. So if you've said nothing, then it won't select you. Anybody follow the NBA? NBA. Is it time? My question to the audience, is it time that LeBron, and what's the other guy they got traded in to the Lakers? Westbrook. Is it time they hung him up? I think it's time they retire. Westbrook, I mean, they've gone backwards since they got him. It just feels like that LeBron's now just trying to break records, ones that he can't probably achieve. Oh, Uber Eats. Who's on the Uber Eats train tonight? Friday night, Uber Eats, Deliveroo. Get amongst it. What's the other one? Hello, Instagram viewers. Sorry, I can't read your names, but I can see there's quite a few of you in here now. Thank you for joining in. If you're not on the YouTube, jump over. Oh, no, I don't want to. Jump over to YouTube if you're on the Instagram channel. Got some really fun stuff happening over here. Place is popping. Talking a whole lot of BS. Mr. No Goat. Are you talking about? Is that in reference to LeBron? I have to agree, but he's a great player. But it's funny how they talk all that shit about the comparison. Yeah, what cracks me up the worst, I think, because back in the 80s and 90s, they never did all this goat crap shit talk. People just played the game, and you know what I mean. It was like you either won or you lost. It never was like you know Cream versus Jordan or whatever, or Larry Bird versus Magic. I mean, there was, but it wasn't like who's the GOAT. Now it's out of control. Like it really is. And they're trying to, anyone with any sense knows that if you're in those Facebook groups, they get heated. They get so heated, especially in reference to LeBron versus Jordan, which is you can't even have arguments if you think about it. There's no way to break it down or equate who is actually greater than the other one. There is no way. In any era, you cannot say, only God knows who the actual greatest of all time is. It's a team sport, so it's the weirdest shit ever. But these young kids just go back and forth. Yeah, he definitely needs to retire, Mark. I'd agree. I think the best player in the league right now is either Steph Curry or Kevin Durant. I think, I don't know, LeBron was, but I think KD, like where the Nets are headed. I think they got a good team. I think has he got vaccinated yet? He wasn't able to play because he didn't get vaxxed. I don't know what happened after that. That LeBron video where he says he's the GOAT, that's ridiculous, man. Honestly, he's the only player that's ever said that. And I mean, he looks like a GOAT. Fucking idiot GOAT saying that sort of shit. He said it to his homeboys. Yeah, that's incredible. You don't you let your peers judge that, not yourself. Who do you guys think's better out of Jordan and LeBron? Let's break it down. They're very different players to begin with. You can't really. Lakers and mates, yeah. MJ, I like where you're at, mate. I like it. Anyone who watched basketball in the 80s and 90s knows that. They're just like MJ all the way. I mean, there is other people, but like, especially from the 90s, it's like, yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. MJ all the way. 100% Tony. I'm on the MJ train. And speaking of Kevin Durant, we come to card number 4. We've got a Gem Mint 9.5 Revolution Kevin Durant. That actually is a very nice card. Oh, we get a close-up of that. I don't know what sort of definition we're rocking on this webcam. The Instagram viewers are rocking 4K. Sorry, YouTube. Not much we can do. My webcam is pretty shit. Yes, never lost to finals. I think it is a generation thing, Shane. Yes. The thing that strikes me, I think, is the game itself it's like watching two different sports. If you compare what sort of that change in the mid 2000s to late 2000s, where they stopped all the hand checking and then it started becoming 53-point shots a game, and you can't equate that back at all. It's like a totally different game, So you can only think about situations. You can't prove anything, but you can imagine guys like who were great shooters back in the days, like a Reggie Miller or a Larry Bird or someone like that who could really shoot back then when they didn't even shoot threes. If they were playing today, they'd probably it'd be ridiculous. I reckon like Reggie would average in the 30s easy, and he never averaged that much back then because the league was so much more physical. Same as Bird, he averaged like 30 back then, but if he was shooting an extra 2 or 3 3-pointers a game, I don't know why, Tony, but I had to moderate that comment. Was it the thug word? I don't know. I just allowed it. It's okay. You're not linking internet porn, so I think I'm okay. Oh, I just muted that by accident. 6-0 in the finals. It's a good record. Hard fouls in the 90s. Yes. 100% agreed. YouTube, Google on search on YouTube for Dirty New Yorker, and my goodness, you want to talk. And I love the Knicks, especially back then with Ewing and Oakley and all that. And you just didn't drive the lane back then. It was you're asking to be knocked onto the ground and have your arms and legs broken. But they just had a different team, especially when they got Pat Riley across from the Lakers. They really thugged it up big time. You know, Ewing was already I wouldn't say a thug. He was a great player, but yeah, it was just a rough league back then. Totally different. You watch that video though, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like they just used to knock people about senseless, and I think some of those fouls, if they were occurring in today's game, would be like 8-week suspensions and stuff, or perma bans, because there was no intent on the ball. It was just like, I'm going for this guy's head with two hands. I'm just going to knock him. But that was it was just different. It was just different. So a lot of these young kids now, it's a bit more cupcake, isn't it? It's a bit more soft. But I think it's not you got to understand that it's not the players' fault. I think it's a bit more corporate. It's more of a, how the league has gone, and it's the same in rugby league and in AFL union. It's the same in all those sports. It's softened down a bit, but it's not the players' fault. So it's hard to say if they'd adapt to the league back then. But I think they would, but who knows? They're just not used to it. It's definitely softer. All right, we're almost up to card number 5. I was going to put a 6th card in, but I think we'll save that for another giveaway. I've got plenty of slabs in reserve, but I thought we'll just we're gonna basically get these 5 slabs in, and then we'll let the spinner pick one, which will be the giveaway one. It'll be random. I don't know if you guys can see when I flip tabs, or is it just showing you the webcam? When I flipped over to the other tabs, can you guys see it? KG all the way. Watch the have you watched the Kevin Garnett trash talk video? My God, it's hilarious. He's just talking. He just talks like there's no one even around him, and he's just talking like he's actually a psycho. It's hilarious. But yeah, KG, loved him. Such a competitor. Just the cam, okay. I did actually rip some cricket. I didn't do cricket cards live on YouTube or anything, but I did. Where did I pick them up? As a news agency or a Caltex or an Ampol or something? Had them. And I bought, they had about 5 packs left. I ended up buying the whole lot. I don't even know if I got anything good. I have them in a box somewhere. This is just the season just gone. With the cricket cards, is that made by the traders, the same as who does the NRL, or is that a different company again? It is the traders. Yeah, I thought so because the look of them was almost identical. Oh, sorry, my phone is ringing. Just give me a sec, guys. That's my wife. I'll be 1 second. Oh, okay. right. Sorry, guys. Quick detour there. I am back. Family man, not a bachelor here. So the boss called. That's right. And she knew I was doing this, so she just decided to ring my phone. It's probably you could hear that in the background. All right. I was going to say something there. Yeah, shout out to Lesser Known. Got this 750 Rebels Brisbane slabbed in the background there. Got some pretty sick merch this week. This was all pickups off the websites. The slab shirts. I'm just going to grab this and show you. This is really cool. I bought this. I don't know if you guys can see that. All I want, again, is a PSA 10. I mean, that's really cool. That's the back. The front is just the slab logo. But I thought I'd hang it up. That's looking really cool. They actually sent me a second one. They didn't have the right size, so I got a freebie. So cheers to the boys at Slabbed. Thought I'd give them a quick shout out. Slabbed are now doing SGC submissions. I don't know if you guys have seen that. But I am going to be doing another guide through them as well to get some SGC stuff done because they now do SGC, which is really cool. Yeah, very, very nice. It's great they've opened up that line there because I think they realized that a lot of the people couldn't afford the PSA submissions at $150 a pop. Wasn't not very nice, is it? Paying $200 to get a card slabbed. I don't think I'd do that even for my PC. So should I do a quick shout out there to the Slab boys? Cheers for the merch. And card number 5. We are getting close to wrapping this up. Cheers for everyone for tuning in. We're online for almost an hour here, so we've been doing pretty well. And I've taken an hour of your lives. You're not going to be able to get that back. But I'm really hoping that we can make this. It might be up and down to begin with, but I need to, once I can smooth sort of things out with life, that we could make this a Friday night thing. So, yeah, that's going to be something to look forward to. We can get on and talk a whole lot of nonsense, talk cards, do different things, have giveaways, really cool stuff. So I know you guys have been keen for that for a while, but you can't actually go live on YouTube until you get a certain amount of subscribers. So now I'm actually able to do that. I thought I'd take advantage of it, and it's really cool. Really cool. Thank you, everyone on Instagram, for tuning in. Thank you very much. Appreciate the love. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can actually... Yeah, I've got the mic on. There we go. Yep. So you've just got the side-on view of me, which is... yeah, you get to see my shirt. That's about it. And my hands moving around. Just talking to the Instagram guys because they're just like, probably, what the hell? If you've just tuned in, jump over to my YouTube channel, throw some comments in, get amongst it. I'm just my phone. S21. It's an S21, if you're wondering. The S21, it's an Ultra. Yeah, if you've got a Dacos rookie, man, for sure. It'd look pretty tight in one of the new CGA slabs, for sure. But hold off on that, Tony K, because one, we want to see what these new slabs look like when they come back, and two, I mean, you could probably put it in depending on if it's in, what sort of condition is it in? If it's in lousy condition, I'd probably just go with someone like Card Authority, where it's just going to be slabbed and protected. If it's in good condition, like where you think you'll get an 8 and above, or even a 7 and above, I'd definitely look at grading it. When was his rookie year? Dacos 81. That's because when he finished up in 93 or 94, wasn't it? 94, I think he played till. But yeah, if it's in decent condition, and the other thing is too, I am going to be putting up some new content around TCG grading. I don't know if they're doing sports cards. They have some really nice labels though. TCG and Trading Card Grading Australia, I think they're called, something like that. There's also Perth grading, and someone mentioned, let me scroll up in the comments. What are they called? Someone said it. PCG, is it? Don't know what they're called. There's someone did say. I'm just scrolling through comments if you want anyone looking at. I can't see it actually. Oh, Platinum. Here we go. Mark, Platinum standard grading. Yeah, I'm going to check them out. Pristine's another one, is it? You reckon 6 to 8, Tony? Yeah, I think it's probably worth grading. 81, if you think about it. The way that I break it down is similar to NBA. So NBA cards, you just got to have a system in place where you can think about stuff. And I did see this on another channel. This wasn't actually. It's sort of my system, but it's not. Oh yeah. But it is the same thing, isn't it? PCG. So Platinum. Yeah, CJ are good. CJ are definitely good. I think they're going to get better over time. They've already started improving things, but with the system, and this is how I break it down. I'll do a video on this too at some point. I've meant to do it, but you got to look at it in not decades, but like a cutoff point, right? So NBA, the cutoff point, and I'll use this Larry Bird as an example. Okay, so from about 89 going backwards, like when you're doing your pre-grade check on it and all that sort of inspection, and you get an idea of in your mind, like, okay, this could hit a 9 or a 10. With cards that go back, especially to lower 80s and pre 86, pre 89, you can still grade like a 5 to 8, okay, or even lower. And because those cards, they just increase in value even if they're just graded because it's so long ago. The vintage, that's right. When it gets back towards vintage, the price increases no matter what. But it's sort of the opposite as you come up. So like ultra modern stuff, if you're not going to hit probably an 8.5 to 9, I'd say people, it's not worth it. It's the raw is going to sell the same. Okay. Or anyone who has any sense, the raw will sell the same. But a 10 in ultra modern or a 9 and 10 will still sell higher than raw. Does that make sense? So, and then I would say back at late 90s and like early 2000s, you can still get away with some smaller gradings, like you know what I mean? It's maybe a 7 or 8 or whatever might sell higher, but you're still taking a risk. But definitely stuff in the 80s. I wouldn't say grade doesn't matter. It does. Like it's going to go up each grade, but it's still worth grading is what I'm trying to say in that era. So and you look at like Michael Jordan's, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson in that period, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, their cards, even the lower grades, are worth more than something that's raw. I've proven this by selling those cards in the lower grades as well. So I did sell an 86 Fleer Larry Bird, which was the 86 Fleer set that it's not a Jordan rookie, people, but that's what they call his rookie card. His actual rookie card's the 84 Star. Okay. That 86, 87 series is actually his third year in the league. So they do reference it to be his rookie card. But my point is I sold that 6.5, I think it was a Beckett BGS 6.5 to someone for like $200. And I paid much less than that for it. But Bird's cards went through the roof last year, absolutely through the roof. I know there was inflation, but some of his rookie cards went, I think one went for 100,000, a PSA 10. I could be wrong on that. I don't want to quote something that didn't happen, but I think the PSA 10, the one with him, Magic Johnson, and Dr. J on it, it's a tops, the scoring one. I've got the other one with him on it. He's got a couple from that top series. But that one, I think, went for ridiculous money. There was a couple of 10s that sold through Probstein on eBay. We know the MJ rookie went for over 100,000. Over $1 million, I think it was, towards the end of the year. I think it went right up. And that stuff goes up and down. So I think the Bird ones come back a little bit. Yeah, it's a beautiful card. Those 80s ones are special. The tops in the early 80s, like 80, 81, 82. I think it was 82 was the last year. And then after that, went to Star. And then I think 86, Fleer took over. And that's why they call it the rookie, because it was the first year Fleer took over. But good luck trying to get one of those. Even a lower grade one. The MJ ones are really hard to get now. True story. When I went to a card show in 1993 in Southport on the Gold Coast, what was the card shop called? Anyone who's been on the coast, there used to be a card shop in, not Scarborough Street, I can't remember what, an English guy used to run it, and we used to do swaps there. This was, 93. I think I was 14 years old. And I was probably my second year in cards. I think 92 I started with my mates collecting. So yeah, I've been collecting a long time. And back then there was, I think your card grading came out in like 91, but it wasn't popular. So people weren't going, you got to get graded. It was just like buy packs and rip them. But at this card show, there was a guy that had Jordan rookies. And in 93, the mentality around Jordan rookies was not hype at all. It was like you could buy a Jordan rookie for about, I want to say $100. I'm not even actually joking. There was dudes that had heaps of them. And you could still buy the Fleer packs. This was back then. We weren't even into it. It was like, if I had have known what I know now, so it does make you think when some of these other guys come out and their rookie cards come out, you see like a Zion or a Luka and you see their cards going up and you're like, fuck, do I just go berserk here? Because in 50 years, because I've seen this before, you know what I mean? So I think there was dudes trading the Michael Jordan rookies for like shit cards that were brand new, if that makes sense, because I'm serious. I've seen this happen. I remember trading a Larry Johnson who was like a Zion back in the day. That's why I never buy. I've bought a couple of Zions, but always sold them. Like I graded one. I've still got one left. I've made a bulk money on him, but he's not going to, I don't even think he'll ever win a championship. He's just like a Big Mac eating motherfucker. Like seriously, I don't know. You know, he's already out of league, isn't he? I don't know. Anyway, I traded a Larry Johnson hologram, the Upper Deck, if you remember 93, 94, at one of these card shows when the Upper Deck 93 came out. The holograms were insane, but they're shit now. I think you can get them for like $20. And I sold one for like an 88 Michael Jordan or something like that. Like I completely ripped the guy off, but it wasn't a rip-off back then, if that makes sense. It wasn't. It was like, oh, you got an 88 Jordan, whatever. That's not even that good. Oh, I got a hologram. It was really weird, and sort of, so you think of those things and you see things happen now. I saw that, man. That was ridiculous. 5.2 million. Yeah, but that's LeBron, though. He's got a history. The one card, like what's a card to you guys where you go, why the fuck is that worth so much money? Do you know the one that for me, and this card has sold, and there's like 200,000 of them, or 20,000 of them in PSA 10 or something. The Luka Doncic base prism. What the fuck? Seriously. Why is that card worth anything? It's a base prism. The PSA 10s go for like 10 grand or some shit. And there's like 20,000 of them. It's stupid. That card to me doesn't make any sense. Black Knight PSA 10. What is that? Is that like a gaming card? And what's the value on it? Yeah, you would have cashed in big time in the Zion. Yeah. when he was playing well. And that's what I'm talking about, the volatility of the market, especially modern. 75K. That's ridiculous. But I've seen, if you just type in PSA 10 on eBay and you see the different things that come up, there's like Hulk Hogan and all this other stuff on there now. You know, like wrestling from back, you know, Hulk Hogan, Tiger Woods rookie cards and all this shit. It's like, what? But they sell for, you know, they sell for money. I tell you what I've been into, and I don't want to blow the market up on this before I release this last fifth card and we get this thing kicking off. And I'm not big on cricket at all, but something inside of me about 6 months ago was like, what are Don Bradman's cards worth? So I went to eBay. I'd never looked at a Don Bradman ever. And oh my God, so his cards go from about 1928, I think, to about 1948. I think that's the timeline. So I've been buying Bradmans, right? I've got a full set of 1938 cigarette cards, the entire set that I bought on an auction. No one bid on it except for me. And I'm like, that's going to be worth something. I bought 2 graded Don Bradmans, both by CGA. One is on eBay right now. I'm trying to flip. And I'm about to win a couple of auctions on Don Bradman. So, yeah, you guys are probably all going to be checking eBay now for Don Bradman. But, yeah, you'll be surprised. The 1932 series, I think it is, or 34, one of the 30s ones is through the roof in price. And I found a whole bunch of Americans that are trying to flip the market on us Aussies. There's a whole bunch because you can see where it comes from. There's some in ComC that are graded by PSA. There's a PSA 6 that's on eBay right now for about $1,500. I think it's a 34. And there's a SGC, a whole bunch of SGCs, and even the Americans are typing in their titles. You got a couple of Bradmans. Yeah. Full sets. That's the, man. And I'm trying to, it's hard to predict markets, isn't it? But you have to think to yourself, if you look at, what's that baseball player from the 40s and 50s from America? His cards are worth ridiculous. It was the record a couple of years ago. What's his name? God, I'm trying to think. He's still, I think, a top five card sale, like in the history of it. Just trying to think of what his name is. As soon as someone says it, I'll be like, that's him. No, not Babe Ruth. No, not Babe Ruth. After that. Pretty sure it's after it, or is it before it? Might be before it. I've never even heard of this guy before. But he has like the record card sale. It's not Babe Ruth. It's another baseball player. My card is Mickey Mantle. Thank you, Tony K. Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle was that. He had the record. It was the most, before that, LeBron James, 5.2 million. Yeah, Mantle. So I think it's don't know which one it is. I don't know. And what era did Mantle even play in? Was it pre-Babe Ruth, during Babe Ruth, or after? I don't know. I don't follow baseball at all. I know the names of the key guys, but I'm not into it. And I don't, for me, PCing is about where your heart is. And I've never been about baseball. Basketball was a big thing because I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So, that was both. So he crossed over a bit with Ruth, did he? Okay. Yeah, but it's weird, isn't it? I've never eBayed a Babe Ruth card. I suspect some of his cards would be worth, a mint as well. But the Mantle is where my mind was at with Bradman, because I'm thinking, if this guy's going for millions, what are these Bradmans going to be worth in? Because he played back then too, right? That he played in like the 20s, 30s, and 40s, I think. I don't know for certain. I know the 30s, and I could be wrong, but Bradman is really old. And you think about that, that's almost 100 years old, and you got his cards. What are they going to be worth in 50 years, or you pass them to your kids or whatever? I reckon a fair bit. You'd be a fool not to, for especially the way things are going. So CGA definitely grade the tiny little gum packet cricket cards because that I got a Bradman like that. So do PSA and so do SGC because I've seen them online. But I wouldn't say it's popular. There's not that many compared to like other sports. You would think Bradman, and I'm not saying he doesn't have a following. One, there's probably not that many available to buy and then grade. There's only a few on there. So if you get them at a good price, you got to take them. That's why I got that full set at I think I paid about $50 for it. For the full set of the 34s, I think it was, or 36, I can't remember, in the 30s. And I got the Bradman. No one bid on it except for me. He started the bidding at like $50, so I got it for $50. The graded one, excuse me, and that was graded ages ago. It's CGA. The number on it is like 1,300 or something, and it's the old system where it's 22, and it says on the label full comprehensive. So that was like even before I started using CGA. So this would have been graded, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I have that in my possession now. Matter of fact, do I have it on my desktop? I can actually show you guys, or did I put it away? But I'm thinking what I'm getting at is that 2 full sets for $30. Mantle was 50s and 60s. Okay, so he's after Babe Ruth. Thank you for clearing that up. So Babe Ruth, I think, was in the 20s and 30s. So Babe Ruth is more like the Don Bradman of cricket. So that's why I'm saying Bradman is at some point. He already is blown up. Like a lot of his cards are still over $1,000 now when they're graded. But definitely, if you can get onto some Bradmans, and they've got those cartoon ones as well. Like I'm in a whole lot of bids now. The Bradman, that's going to be my next thing. And I'm not a big cricket fan, but I'm just part of me is saying you're stupid not to, So, especially as an Australian, even if you're not into cricket, you got an idea of what it's about. And I think in the next few decades, you'll see Bradmans go right up. Right up. I don't have. Did anyone watch the AFL Grand Final this year? The Demons just went off the chain. But I did pick up a couple of some really cool Demons cards after that. I thought I'm going to get on board here. Gus Brayshaw, hand sign dominance, and I also got. I've sent him away, but I also got. What was that kid that kicked like 6 goals? God, he was that young gun. I got the what are they called? The select highlights. If anyone else has done the highlights, they're really cool cards. I've got a bunch of Dusties when he won the Norm Smith a few years ago. This year they released the Christian Petrarca, I think he won the Norm Smith, or last year I should say. Yeah, Petrarca. Yeah, I got 3 of his and 2 of the other kid. The kid that kicked. I'm trying to think of his name. Someone else called. I was watching the game live, and someone said this kid's a star, and I ended up buying his highlights. But I've sent them away to CGA. They're going to come back in the nice new mint cases. 90s Gen in cricket. What would you call our MJ comparison? Oh, that's a very good question. I did watch a lot of cricket back in the 90s. I'd have to say there's a couple of names that spring to mind. But the first one, well, yeah, I think Warnie probably because he was a match winner just off his spin bowling. The other one, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, there's probably 3 or 4 from the Aussie team because I think in the 90s, was that when we were really dominant and just belting everybody? Was that when Steve Waugh was a captain, right? Because he was the one I was thinking of, Steve Waugh. I reckon he'd have some value. He was probably the most dominant captain ever. Yeah, Steve Waugh. That time, I think we won like 17 or 18 test matches in a row. I think, is that still the record under Steve Waugh? think he's the most successful captain ever. I could be wrong. I know they had a gun team, though. If you look at their team, they had the other one I was thinking of was McGrath, the fast bowler. Yeah. Steve Waugh, definitely the king. He's, and I don't know how to rank players in cricket, but he's definitely one of the best of Australian, definitely, and probably one of the guys that you sort of all remember because he was the captain, and he was one of those guys where if he wasn't playing well, we could still win, and when he did play well, he's one of those guys that he got his back up against the wall. The media would say it's time for him to retire. He'd come out and score 200 or whatever. He was one of those sort of dudes. USA MLB expert in the house. New York collecting king. Oh, nice. Welcome aboard, New York collector king. I'm assuming that's who the reference is for. Welcome aboard, buddy. Do you collect all things New York or just MLB? 90s Knicks, Patrick Ewing? Yeah. Yeah, I remember the West Indies, they started getting really, not terrible. Is a podcast. Nice. Definitely leave a link in the description. I love checking out podcasts. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that 90s cricket. You got probably 3 or 4 names. Yeah, please leave a link there. That'd be great. I will check that out for sure. For sure. I appreciate you guys coming in here and chilling with me for the last hour and a half. So it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully we can get a consistent live stream going on and yeah, Brett Lee, definitely. He did get a bit injured, but my God, you didn't want to face him when he was bowling at 150 Ks an hour, did you? Does he still hold the record for that 160 K? Or was there someone else that went faster? I remember they used to measure them back then, how fast they were actually bowling. Some of them were coming in at ridiculous speeds. I think he clocked 100 mile. The rivalry, the East Coast rivalry, that is real. Between Philly, Boston, New York, there's no love at all. No love at all. That's right on the East Coast there. I remember the 80s was all about that. They did the fights. Philadelphia and Boston was just brutal, absolutely brutal. Did anyone see the video where Dr. J and Larry Bird punched on? It was hardcore. Really went at it. They started smashing the shit out of each other, grabbed each other by the throat. It was insane, absolutely insane. But the funniest thing about Larry Bird is, and I'm a bit of a Larry Bird nerd. He looks like a friggin' choir boy, but he was a real tough bastard, like really tough. He used to smash people. Don't believe me? YouTube Larry Bird fights and watch him belt people's faces in. I'm not even kidding. Full-blown punches. He's a big man too. He's about 6'10", and he could really fight. As great of a player he was, he could. You didn't want to upset him. He would dead set punch you straight in the face. Patrick Ewing, my favorite center of all time. I just want to say that right now. Dream team all the way. And I just want to say, big shout out to John Starks. But game 7, if Starks had have shot, I think we worked it out. He shot 20-something% from the field. If he had a shot 35%, New York would have won that series. New York should have won that series in 6 games. They were up in game 6. People were talking about Olajuwon. Cheers, Tony. Thanks mate. Hit me up on, if you end up, whoever wins this, just hit me up on Instagram for your postage details because it's going to be random. So, Tony, you could still win. Cheers for tuning in, buddy. Go the Pies. Go the Pies. But the center battles back then were just something that you're never going to see that ever again. Cheers, Tony. Yeah, it was unbelievable watching those guys just absolutely hammer into each other. Yeah, I remember when the battles they had before Shaq came in, and then when Shaq came in, they all were it was just another level. They just go, and watching Ewing versus Shaq because they were on the East Coast, that was special. They'd play each other 6 times a year, so you know, Ewing pretty much pushed his shit in for the first few years. But then, he started getting old. His knees were just fucked. His knees were absolutely shot in the end. But yeah, absolute force, Ewing, especially in his prime. Absolute gun. Had he have won that 94 championship, people would definitely talk about him differently, which is a pity because he was tremendous. Hey, Michael, long-time YouTube supporter. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Good stuff. I said I'd do it, Michael, and here we are. Good stuff, mate. It's been a good turnout. We had plenty of people in here talking, which is great. It's great. Oh man, Danny, what happened? He should have. What was worse is when he went to Orlando. I mean, it was sad. Seattle sort of made sense, although I don't even think Sean Kemp was there anymore, was he? Because if they had him on the same team, it would have made sense. But no, it didn't. He should have retired after 99 when he did his Achilles. Yeah, Kemp had already moved to the Cavs, I think, at that point. Was it the Cavs? I can't remember. He went to the East Coast for a bit. But yeah, he should have retired. And if you look at his stats, they went to absolute shit. He could barely move. You watch him in 99 when he was just an absolute shadow of himself, when his knees he had plastic knees. They just went to crap, and he had a couple of good games where he's, and then other times he was like a stone statue, such a liability on the court. But had he retired at New York, statistically, he'd be so much better off. Like his averages and that, he really shot himself in the foot. I think he would have averaged like 25, 12 and about 3 blocks or something if he had retired at New York. But he ended up, averaging like 5 points a game when he went to Seattle and then Orlando. It was just stupid. But yeah, they're good old days, man. They don't really have centers. Cavs, Portland, and Magic. Yeah. I thought Kemp was still good when he went to the Cavs. After that, when he really packed on after the lockout, he packed on a lot of pounds. And I don't think he was that effective. He couldn't. His body was just big, Michael. Yes, I did. I think I videoed that one. 1K in the last month. That's outstanding, buddy. I shouldn't really say that. I shouldn't be encouraging you to put yourself in debt. But I did get one of my bulks back from PSA. I've got a semi-bulk still over there, about 11 cards. I think I've got 5 Shaq rookies. I think a LeBron rookie. What else have I got? And a couple of Magic Johnsons, I think. 89 Magic Johnsons, I think, or 90. I can't remember. You're investing, mate. You're not spending, you're investing. You're investing in your future. Mark, what did you think of the 08 Celtics? KJ, yeah, that was an outstanding team. That was a really, really outstanding team. Probably a bit unlucky. I think was it 09 or was it 2010 where they played the Lakers in the finals and they got beaten in 7 games, I think? Someone just correct me on that. They had a good enough team to win that, but Kobe just had a great series. Not the biggest Kobe fan, but he was a great player. There's no doubt about that. But I think Boston, team-wise, they had a really great team. They were a good passing team. They were very well balanced. Rondo is very underrated. Very underrated. He's a tremendous passer. I think Rondo is still playing, isn't he? Is he back at the Lakers again? Or is he at the Clippers? He's been back and forth so many times. I know he won a championship again on that Laker team with LeBron a couple of years ago. Is that right? I'm sure he was their point guard. But he actually played well for them, you know. Twenty 2010 Lakers. Right, that was Lakers versus Celtics is what you're getting at. Yeah. No, he can't shoot at all. No, you're not wrong, buddy. He's got a terrible jump shot. He's good at dribble penetrating and passing, and he's got really good court vision, and he can defend. But yeah, he's not a starting point guard anymore. I think he's just a bench guy now that'll like a role player. But in saying that, I did watch a lot of that 2020. I think was it when the Lakers won again? He was on that team, and I think he played really well in that series. He really played well. And Miami were playing very, very well in the last part of the season. So it wasn't an easy series win. But if you compare, was it a really highly talented team? Probably not. They did have a lot of guys out. I think Miami. Can't remember the team that they had, but Rondo's at the Cavs now. I thought he went back to. That is the thing, man. I swear he went back to the Lakers. Did they trade him again? I know he got traded out of the Lakers the year after. Players move. Like in 2 seasons, you can do 4 teams now, no problem. You just get traded 3 times a year, and then you settle at the last team. It's crazy how they switch. Like, it's so hard to keep up with it. Like the Cavs, that's incredible. Rondo. Yeah, that's incredible. If you haven't watched, go to the good book called The Book of Basketball by, is it Bill Simmons? He ran a podcast, and it was very popular. He's got a massive following. I think he does articles and stuff now, but he has a YouTube channel, I think, as well. I can't remember. But there was a guy that made his own YouTube channel based off the Book of Basketball. Now, the Book of Basketball ranks the greatest teams of all time. Like literally, the best chemistry teams. It's just such a great book. And it's documented on YouTube, which is really good. He's at the Cavs now. I can't keep up with that because so in 2 years, he's done 2 separate stints at the Lakers. Yep. But in between the Lakers, he was at the Clippers. So he went from the Lakers. Where was he before he was the first time at the Lakers? Because it wasn't Boston. Was it somewhere else? Or was it Boston? Was he still at Boston the whole time? Or did he go to the Nets or something weird at the end? I can't remember. Wherever he was, he went from there to the Lakers, to the Clippers, back to the Lakers, and now to the Cavs. So that's in like 18, 20 months. That's just ridiculous. Like it really is. He's done 5 teams in 2 years. 5 teams. Like, it's so different now how they just trade them around like they're nothing, And that's how what pisses me off is that the fans get like that too. They just follow the player around, not the team. So it's weird, isn't it? Because like when we grew up, it was like you follow your team. And if the stars get traded out, well, they didn't get traded out back in the day. They're always one-player teams, like in every sport. Guys rarely got traded. If they did, it was, in any sport. You had some guys that would play 2 teams or whatever. The Hawks, then the Clippers. So 6 teams then. 6 teams. That's ridiculous, man. Because he was somewhere else before the Lakers. So that first team to the Lakers, to the Hawks, to the Clippers, to the Lakers, to the Cavs. Yeah? That's fucked up. That is fucked up. Like, yeah. So if you're a Rondo supporter, you suddenly bandwagon 6 teams. Like, you wonder why kids these days are fucked up. Well, there's my take on that. Sorry for any young supporters, but Jesus, stick to a club or a team. Don't fucking follow the player. It's ridiculous. It's retarded. It fucking is. Okay, that makes more sense, Michael. Okay, 1-month contracts. Yeah, I get it. Also, the Kings and the Bulls. Oh, my God. You're saying that Rondo did stints there? That's crazy. It would make sense on the 1 month contracts. I didn't understand that part of it. It would. So teams would pick a player up on the basis that they're going to play at least 1 month. If they don't, and they'd have probably some KPIs they got to hit. If they don't hit those KPIs, they can just get moved on. But yeah, it's just, should they just retire, or do they? That just shows you the quality of the league, though. Like, how strong is it? Because to me, how many teams can actually contend? Yeah, cut. And that's a championship player getting cut. But the league is, you ask any 18-year-old these days, the league is way better. It's way stronger. Okay, that just got put for review. I don't know why. I'm showing it. Oh, because you swore. Okay, swearing's fine, guys, if you want to swear. Probably no C-bombs, though, if you don't mind. You can F-bomb the shit out of anything. But we'll try and keep it semi-bogan-less, if that makes sense. Time for the final card, guys. What have we got here? The mystery card. And this is a fresh one that just came back last week. It is. I'll show Instagram first. It's a Grant Hill rookie card. Only an 8.5, but this was pack pulled. This was from my box break I did about a year ago, the 94 Top Stadium Club. Grant Hill, the man who drank Sprite for a living. There it is. Yeah, imaginary drum roll. There we go. Brrr, boom, boom, boom. Grant Hill is the final piece of the puzzle. Anyone remember Grant Hill? Grant Hill was the man. Until he fucked his ankle, he was the man. 2.5 million. Yeah, okay. It makes sense for the player. Yeah, not so much the teams. That's insane, man. Look at that. I mean, yeah. And you wonder why these kids are confused these days. It's like a they just whore the players out. I mean, I get it, but yeah. I guess for the older guys, the older players, to do that is probably a bit of a new norm, because he's not the only one. There's tons of them that do it. But for the younger guys, these new players that come through, I think it's really important that they stay at one club for the majority of their careers. And teams should really try and build around it. You see some of these guys that come in, and another one that springs to my mind, and I'll tell you right now, I don't think this guy will ever win a championship, is J.A. Morant. And all these 16-year-old kids are like, oh, my God, did you see that? All he did was dunk the ball. His team's shit. I don't even think they're in contention for the playoffs. I could be wrong. Someone correct me or agree with me. Yeah, mid-game. Yep. That's frightening, isn't it? Mid-game. Imagine that. Half-time, you're in the shower and pack your shit up and get out. You've just been traded. Okay, thanks, coach. Yeah. Yeah, Penny Hardaway was definitely another one. Do you remember when he first came to the Magic and they traded Scott Skiles, who was actually a gun point guard? You know what, man? I was looking at this the other day and someone did a video on it. They would have been better off. I know this is a tough call. They probably should have kept Scott Skiles and not moved him out and played and just rotated him with Penny. But I think there was some shit going on where it couldn't have happened. But Shaq and Penny, that was a frightening duo that never lifted, never took off. I think they made the finals. They got fucking dominated. They got fucking dominated by Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets and Clyde Drexler in 95. Got swept. They traded Penny. Man, they should have kept Chris Webber. Webber was a way better player than Penny. I know there's a lot of Penny bandwagoners and there's people that would disagree with what I just said, but just compare their careers, injury or not. Yeah. Nick Anderson, I remember he missed both of them, didn't he? He missed both of those free throws. Was that Descendant? Yeah, it's coming back. I remember staying up and watching that. But yeah, Shaq, I thought he got absolutely schooled. But I mean, he wasn't that Shaq that he became. The early 90s to mid 90s, he was still getting towed up by, Olajuwon, Ewing, and Robinson. I collected Penny too, man. Man, it was funny because someone asked me this question the other day. Okay, thanks for clearing that up, Mark. So Memphis, they are good. Third round in the West. Really? Fuck, I thought they weren't even making the playoffs. I don't even watch it these days that much. It's just not exciting. I don't appreciate 63-point shots a game. I don't. I want to see physical play. I want to see fucking big men come back to the game. I love – no, you know what? No, I didn't. I was always more of a Knicks person. And when they used to match up with Ewing and Shaq, I used to like that Ewing was owning Shaq at that point. And I didn't – when Penny came along, they'd always – he was a great player, though, definitely in those first few years. Yes, fucking loved Ewing. It was so good. Watching the first couple of years, I think the first year they won, they beat the Magic. They played them 5 times, and Knicks beat them 5 times. It's interesting. Look up Ewing's stats against O'Neal in the first 5 years. He fucking raped him. Like it was ridiculous. He averaged, I think, about 37 points a game or something against Shaq, like 15 rebounds and 4 blocks, something in that space. Not the whole thing, because there's a website where you can compare shit. Don't get me wrong, Shaq had good stats as well, but the Davis boys, that just brings it all back. They had a good team. They were really hard. They were a physical team. When they got Mark Jackson and then Chris Mullin later on, fucking Steph, man. He's as much as he's a great player because he's a good passer as well and he's a good team sort of guy. You just got to shake your head at the 3-point situation, don't you? You really do, because every coach, the stupid part now, Big Rit Smits, man, Smits, the Duncan Dutchman, he was a gun man. He was underrated. Did he end up making the Hall of Fame, Smits? He should have. I don't know if he was lack of D. You know what, though? And this is what I said before, Michael. It's not so much the player's fault as the game itself, if that makes sense, because they're playing within a set of rules. It's sort of changed the way, similar to when Wilt Chamberlain was in the league back in the 60s, the 50s and 60s, and they changed the game to stop him from dominating. It's sort of gone the other way now where they've eased up, the hand checking, you can't touch them. There's so much, the spacing thing is just, it's broken. You see guys are just wide open, how they space whole sides of the floor. It just stops defense. You think about it. It's not that, it's a different game. It's like comparing ice hockey to football, in terms of now to pre-2000. You could compare, all the way through. I mean, they're shooting it from it's ridiculous. If you watch the drills that Curry does, he dribbles a basketball. He does this for hours every day. And then on the other hand, he dribbles, I think it's a golf ball or a tennis ball, and he swaps. It's fucking insane. That's his handles, how he trains from handles. And then he'll just get off the thing and shoot. So, the amount of shots he would put up every day, if you watch the one on Larry Bird, and they didn't even shoot threes, Bird said that he used to shoot over 1,000 shots a day, over 1,000 every single day back then. And he would only take maybe 20 or 30 from behind the arc. The rest were all, 15 to 18 to 20, whatever it was. Now, I reckon Curry would probably shoot. How many threes do you reckon he would shoot a day? Like easy couple hundred every single day. It's different though. It's definitely evolved into something different. It's just different. Like you can't compare it. Like, and people that try to, it's weird, because you see them, all they do is come off a pick and shoot a 3. It's like they didn't even do that. You know, Mick. All right, Mick. Will do, buddy. You couldn't flop back in the 90s, bro. No, definitely. You took that shit on the chin. And as they called it, was the price. Every time MJ talks about it in an interview. If you drove the lane, you were expected to get knocked on your ass. And people think it was just like, the Knicks, the Detroit, and the Pacers and stuff. But every single team in the 80s and 90s, every single one had physical enforcers on their team that were ready to kill you. Every team had them. Even the soft teams had psychos on their teams. People that were ready just to punch on straight away. Kyrie's got insane handles. Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate some of the... Did anyone watch the street ball stuff? I follow... did anyone remember the And One, the mixtape back in the day? And One? They're like a street ball thing. It was really insane. Sort of like a modern day Harlem Globetrotters. The professor, Grayson Bouchard, or whatever his name is, man, watch his handles. Him and that other guy called the Bone Collector. Look them up on Facebook, and you just be like, "What the fuck?" It's another level. Like it really is. Let's try and get the. I'm gonna just flick over tabs in a second. We're gonna figure out. Okay, we're gonna figure out. Wish you guys could see this. And it has Basher Hooley. All right. Can you guys hear the clapping through my speakers? That was all right. Let me just get a screenshot of this so you guys know I'm not fucking trying to. How do I snip and sketch? All right. I'm going to post this somewhere so you guys know I'm not fucking giving you the shittest card on here. But Basher Hooley's is probably one of the best cards out of this one. But let me just save that just so there can be no confusion. So the winning card is the number 1, Basher Hooley. Put your own price on what you think that would be worth. I'm not going to say what I paid for it. So Basher Hooley wins. Yeah, it only streams the cam. I just snipped and sketched that so you guys know I'm not fucking skimping anybody. Like you might, I wanted the Jordan or whatever. I'm not. I'm not like that. I'm very authentic. You guys know that. You can check my eBay and all the rest of it. I don't sell on Facebook because Facebook is just a fucking scam thing. But I just did a wheel generator and put in all the names of the cards and then just hit the bang and it just spins around and randomly stops on one. I did a test before, but then that was the live one. And hopefully we can do this a bit more often and just make it really fun. But I will put that snip up on Instagram. Or no, probably Facebook because it's on my computer. So I'll put it on Facebook, put it in the group. If you guys haven't joined my Facebook group or page, jump on board with that so you guys can keep up to date. I'm not massively socially active, but I do post usually weekly at least. So now let's see if I can copy paste. You guys can't see what I'm doing, can you, on the screen? You're just seeing like the camera and that's it. I could probably flip the it's too late now, isn't it? Let me see if I can copy paste the comment into this YouTube comment picker. If this works, filter duplicates, include replies. Let's see if this will just work. Oh my God, are you serious? Doesn't work on the lives. Okay. What I'm going to do, you can only see me. Yeah. It's not going to work on the live stream. You know what I'm going to do? All right. How many people we got in here? I'm just going to do a random name picker and I'll put all your names in. How's that? Or I could just use the wheel, couldn't I? Hey, there we go. I'll use the same one. All right. Starting from the bottom. Okay. No one type it. Okay. If you haven't typed in a while and you're on here, type something now so that your name appears. I can see right up to Mick. Mick's typed a couple of times. I've got H10FLQ, Mark, Shane, Josh C, Mark. Who else we got on here? I'll go right through. I'll go back to the top. I'll go back to the very, very top so I don't miss anyone. I'll put Tony in as well, so we'll get him on board. He was pretty active. Won't miss him. I've got New York Collector. All right. Give me a second, guys, just to push everyone's name on. I thought that was going to work for live streams, but it's actually wanting published videos. I don't know, and I don't want to risk it if I ended the stream. If I ended the stream and then pushed it through that way. But that way I'd probably lose all, I'd have to sift through comments. So let's just do it live. So there's no, what I'll do is I'll just use the same one as I used for the cards, and I will punch in everybody's name. So I'll start from the bottom. Can I copy your names? Yes, I can. I'm just going to copy them. Perfect. Okay. And I'll copy paste this as well, just so there's no favorites. It's going to be even Stevens. Yes, just give me a second, guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in for so long, because it has been. Oh, Shane, mate, no, there was the Basher Hooley, buddy. That's what So what I did is I did a random thing with that, and the Basher came up. I'll show you the screenshot. But what I am going to do is I'm going to be doing this every week, so hopefully. So MJ will be in the next ballad as well. I was hoping if we'd got over 50 viewers, I think we're just short of that, that I was going to do 2 cards, 2 winners. But I think we're just short. But as we get, yeah. So that, if that makes sense, I'll let the computer pick a card and the computer pick a person. So it's completely random, and that way it's the fairest can be. You might not get the card that you want, but it's still a freebie. So that's how I thought about it. And obviously I'll just put in a whole bunch of random cards. Some are close to cards that I'd PC, like the Basher one. I'm not a big Richmond supporter. I'm a Pies man, but just a hand signed, it's just got a great label. It really does. I'll show you that now. It's got the custom card authority labels. They do have on the back, they've got the QR code. Not graded, but just a beautiful card, man. 2013 champions, select champions. So, all right, let's get these names in. What else do I need in here? I need that guy. What is everybody up to this weekend? Well, is it just me? Is there a couple of people typing in some other country? Looks like Russian or something. Looks like spam accounts. Where's the New York Collector? I need to get him up here. I'll put Tony in. All right, so that's 6 people. There's been a lot of people in here, but not everybody's talking. So I'm just going to, I can't see names, but there's been a bunch of people in. I'm not going to put Cherry Collectibles in because you guys have got enough cards if you're still watching. I don't know which one of you it is. You can bitch slap me next time I come to your store when I come down to Melbourne. Once you guys are finished dying of COVID, of course. Just kidding. Shouldn't say that. I'm just making sure I get all these names. I don't miss anybody. Got Tony K. I've got Josh C. I've got Shane. Oh, wait a sec. Was there 2 Shanes? There was 2 Shanes, wasn't there, originally? Where's the other Shane? There he is. All right, I'll get him in there as well. All right. Bear 23. Max M. All right. I think I'll get everybody's name now who has talked. I'm just thinking, what if someone wins it and they're not here? How are they even going to know? I don't know who's still here and who isn't. I know you guys are still here. I've got Mick, I've got Shane Coe, Josh C, and Mark are still active. But what if one of these other guys wins? Well, I'll give them a couple of minutes to respond. If they don't, we'll take them out. How's this? We'll take them out and we'll re-roll again with just current people. If that I agree. Keep it down to active. But you guys have stuck in here to the end, so I do appreciate that. Yeah, the CA slabs, H10, yeah. They look pretty grouse, don't they? I agree. Has anyone else got this? Has anyone else got the Card Authority slabs? They just, as soon as I saw them, I watched their podcast. They run a podcast too, good bunch of guys, and they just talk card grading and cards, and they don't stop. They're really good. But when they put up a link, I joined their Facebook page or group or whatever. They're really active on Facebook, by the way. Very good for sign cards, yes, because they do that little hand sign thing and just slab them for you. It's great. Well, yeah, they are. It's not that. Well, they're not now. They're not even doing it because they don't do that option. But it's more that Beckett. It's more that Beckett are overpriced, and they're just an affiliate sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Where they're doing their bulk submissions. I don't even reckon they'd make that much on it. To be honest, I reckon they'd make most of their money on breaks. And I don't know if the guys from Cherry are still here. I don't know who does all their marketing and stuff, but they got a pretty big team. But the video I did on Card Authority, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, no, they're good. Just trying to think of what the guy's name is who bloody runs Card Authority, but he's the guy that's in the podcast. Him and the other guy, and yeah, they just get into it and start talking cards, and they try to, they talk about the trends in some of the market, which is really cool. Different aspect of stuff. But yeah, lots of fun. I did do quite a few subs with Cherry, and I think I've still got 2 subs with Cherry that are outstanding. I've got like an 87 Bird and 87 Magic Johnson, and then I've forgotten the cards I even sent to them because it's been so long. I've got like a Michael Jordan, a 1987 Michael Jordan, so that'll be worth quite a bit even if it comes back shit. I think a LeBron and maybe a Kobe. I can't even remember. I really don't. And then I've got a whole bunch, PSA, and I've got probably another 50 cards, I reckon, with Adam. Yes, it's Adam. It is Adam, mate. Yes, he's the one that rang me. Great bloke. Rang me to personally apologize for the mistake. Rang me like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, why are you ringing me for? I'm not angry. I'm chilled. He's like, yeah, it's not the point, blah, blah, blah. We're starting out in business, and he just explained the whole thing. I chatted with him for about 5 minutes, and I really wasn't in the mood to talk. I wasn't angry or upset. I was just going to email him and say, hey, sort this out, because that's what I do with Craig from card grading. So I never really get that upset about stuff like that. It can be fixed. So, Craig has always fixed damaged slabs for me and re-slabbing and shit like that. He's fixed 2 damaged slabs free of charge. And I've got one I just found the other day, and I didn't realize it's got a wrong label. So Steph Curry, I'm going to send that back in the next one. I'll just email him first, but it was from like 6 months ago. So hopefully he still does it. Because, anyway, I think I've got everybody's names in, and I might, should we vote on just removing the inactive guys now, just to save and just go fresh off the bat? There's a couple of guys that were talking it up at the start, but they're not here now. I can see who's active. Basically, everyone from New York. Is the New York guy still here? One of the Shanes isn't. The second Shane. Should we take him out? Should we take Bear out? Max M. Guys, if you're here and I'm talking about taking you out, then say something. Yeah, okay. 2 people have said do it. So we'll do it. We'll take out the inactives. Always a chance. This isn't going to be the only time, guys, so no one freak out. It's just a fun event. I don't want you guys getting pissed off at each other for Mark. Is Mark still here? Mark, say something, buddy, if you're here. The last thing Mark said was Kyrie got good handles. Yeah, and as this builds up too, we can make it fun. We can make it a lot more fun. This is just in its infant stages, so we can improve what we're doing. We can have nights where we have multiple winners if we have enough people. We got enough cards, that's for sure. I got slabs for days, boys. Slabs for days. I'm not even kidding. You guys seen my Instagram pictures, my Facebook pictures? I have slabs for fucking days. It's not even a joke. So many slabs. That is you asked me that the other day, Mick, and mate, I'm fucking stumped because, and I went back and checked. Right? My previous return, none of them had pennies. Mark's still here, buddy. I'll leave you on. Thank you for saying something. But the bulk that just came back, every single one has a penny sleeve in it. I know because I was putting them on, taking photos for them. But how do you control that? Do you email them, say, hey, mate, fucking sleeve that shit? Because some of the ones too, have a good look. Some of the ones that look like they don't have sleeves do. But I definitely have got some that don't. So it's freaking weird. I definitely appreciate when they do have the sleeve. Even if they move around a bit, I don't care. Yeah, check your sleeve. Check them. Because I would say most have the sleeve, but there definitely is some that don't. Definitely. It is. Yeah, it's frustrating. What about PSA? Do PSA always internal sleeve? Let's have it. No, they don't. Oh, this is a sacrilege. Okay. This Larry Bird, a fucking Larry Bird, does not have an internal sleeve. Look at that. There is no sleeve there. Instagram. Okay. So card companies that I've noticed that always have a sleeve. Beckett, always have a sleeve. Never do you ever not get a sleeve. No, PSA don't. Look at that. The MJ doesn't have one either. But if you look at Card Authority, don't either. I think it's the type of slab. I really don't know. Now, okay, so here's what we're talking about. Yeah, I found it. So the Zeeble, see how it's got the sleeve? Where are we? See how you can see the edging that's got a sleeve? The Grant Hill has a sleeve, right? The Grant Hill rookie. You got to get right close to it, but it does have it. It's just one of them tight-fitting ones. The Kevin Durant does not have a sleeve. So now they were all different submissions. Yep. The KD, I got that back probably 6 months ago. The other two are pretty recent or more recent. But how do you know? That's weird, isn't it? That is fucking weird. That is bloody weird. Half mine, yeah. I would say 50% of mine is the same. You checked your CGA and they're all sleeved? Okay. I don't know. I think me and Mick have probably got a fair few cards, though. I think when you get a lot of cards, and I don't know, it's hard to gauge, isn't it? Because you try to be understanding to a business. They have pumped out a lot of cards. Like we talked about before. All right, I'm just adjusting who's in this role, and I've got it down. Just about ready to roll. What do we got? We got Mark, Mick, Josh, H-Tin, Shaneco, All right. Got it down to the final 5. So yours are all sleeved. Now, how many subs have you done with them, Mark, if you don't mind us asking? I've probably done fucking 20 or 30 different subs, and each sub's probably got at least, I'd say, my minimum sub is usually about 6 cards. I try to tie it in with what budget I got, so 6 to 10, I usually keep it within that. Sometimes more. I did like a fucking 20-something card bulk with them. Not the last one I did was the bulk. That was like 20 cards or something. And I didn't actually check, like, within. Not many. So, Josh, are you saying that all of your CGAs have got an internal sleeve? Or not many that you haven't done subbed that many cards with them? Lads, before this, you have subbed many, okay, and they've all got the sleeve. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I can't work it out. It could be an oversight by them when they're. If you think about, you haven't subbed many, okay, yeah. I remember at the start, all of my cards had sleeves, had the internal sleeves. So I don't know. Is it oversight by them when they're tired? They'd have to be pushing through. Like who does all the grading? Is it just 2 of them? Is it just one? Is it Craig by himself? Does his brother do it? I know there's. I get emails from different people now. There's a Chelsea and a Rebecca as well. So they've definitely, like Laysan, the last name. So they've definitely incorporated more family members. But I think he's got the girls handling like the customer support side, and I think he's still doing all the actual grading himself. Maybe is Bob? I think Bob is his brother. They do the card shows. If you in that area, they do all the regional stuff. But yeah, it's interesting how they run. I don't know because it's a family-owned business as well. Even when shit is going to hit the fan, they're going to handle it by themselves. I couldn't see them hiring like an external grader. Do you know what I mean? To bring them in board because their whole business is family operated. Like literally everyone has the Leishon last name. So yeah, that's something else to think on because if they blow right the fuck up, because even though their labels are still not the best labels out of all the grading companies in Australia, doesn't matter what people say, they're still the dominant card grading company in Australia. Like it's not close. Like people can say, I've read articles, I've done all the rest of it, but you can think what you want to. And don't get me wrong, they don't always get it right. I've had cards come back as fucking 7s and 8s or 9s and 10s, and it should have been the other way around. You know, I had a 10 one. We had it. So, and every card grading company's like that. So you got to look through a bit of slander sometimes. If you've seen PSAs come back, or you look at it's a 10, and it's like there's no fucking way that's a 10. I don't think that. And have a look at that. But look at the centering on that 9. That wouldn't be a CGA 9. Just saying. That would be centering up probably an 8.5 or an 8. The rest is mint as hell. Like it's so crisp, the edging and stuff in the surface. That's maybe how it's getting a 9 because the corners are sharp as hell. But in terms of centering, I mean, look at that. Look at that edge. It's probably 60-40 centering. And I've got the tool to measure that later. But yeah, PSA probably makes the biggest errors out of every company, despite them being the most dominant card grading in terms of how they're perceived and their market share. So never forget that. And their fucking shit customer service. The Beckett Club one, fuck me. They hand 10s out. Yeah. I've seen those with crooked edges, fucking centering that's like 70-30, and it's a 10, and you're like, there's no fucking way. That is the worst shit ever. I don't think you can do the Beckett Card Club grading anymore, can you? It's basically, someone told me They're like anything from like a 4 to a 6, just get to 10. Like literally has to be dirt. So you send the BCCG, you send your worst cards. Like that is what the deal is. There's no point sending your best ones because if they're going to get 10s anyway, they're going to make more money in a you got a few. You can always trick people. Hey, not that I'm suggesting to trick people, but I'm just saying, like, there's always people out there that will buy it, is what I mean. It still is technically a 10. It's just doesn't go through the same standard testing, okay, is what I think. Stevie Wonder. It could have been a bargain at the time, buddy. I've seen people put like Jordan and Bird rookies in the BCCGs and all that sort of stuff. Don't even get me started. Someone asked me to do when I was doing all the submission guide videos, someone asked me to do a GMA one. So I contacted the owner of GMA and said, can we make this happen? Will you post overseas? Good for your exposure, blah, blah, blah. Because at the start when I was doing submission videos, they were really getting thousands of views. A lot of them were blowing up. And he said no. He's like, no, we won't post to Australia. And I was like, well, fuck you. I'm never using your fucking service anyway. There is so many graders now. Yeah, and I had a look at some of the GMAs. Some of them look good. I've been told that their customer service is actually really good, GMA. But, yeah, there might be a few 10s that get handed out. In terms of so many graders, it's ridiculous, isn't it? So you've got to be careful when you're using some of the lesser ones. You just do a little bit of research. There was a really good article about all the Australian graders. It's on Facebook somewhere. If you guys want to see that, I'm trying to think of who it's called that does the video, the article. It's the guy that does all of the Adam from what's his name? He does all the bulk submissions with CGA. The GMA cards, yeah, they move. A lot of movement. Probably the worst I've seen. A friend of mine bought a GMA SLAB and he just wanted to see it. He got it cheap and he got it, and you just shake, and it was shake rather than roll. It really was. The movement was insane. I know some of the PSA ones move heaps, and so do CGAs sometimes. Not all of them, but some of them do. But this was a different level of movement. Yeah, it is what it is. I've got the wheel of names up here, guys. I've got 6 names and 5 names, the 5 that are actively talking. I've got Josh C, I've got Mark, I've got H10 FLQ, Shane Coe, and Mick Nguyen. So let's roll the dice here and see who walks away with the Basher Hooli. I'll screenshot this and I'll post it appropriately to show you guys that I'm not dodging anything. All right, let's go. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we have a winner. Gonna get a screenshot. Hang on. Get a screenshot. A winner, chicken dinner. All right, shutting that down. Do I announce it here or do I announce it on Facebook with the pics? Do you guys want to know who won? I know who won. Mate, I don't know if you're a Richmond supporter. You guys want me to drop it here? All right, let's do it now. Let's go. Type in your name in. You're not on Facebook. All right. Well, that's Mark. Mark, you won, buddy. Where can I put a screenshot where you guys will see it so that I could probably do like a YouTube short, couldn't I? I'll do that. I'll do both pictures in one so you guys know I'm not fucking you over. Well done, Mark. Mick, Come on, mate. There's going to be plenty more of this. Mark will work out a way where I can get this posted out to you, mate. Maybe hit me up on Instagram, or do you guys all follow my socials? They are on the YouTube channel. You can see them. Don't post you don't know shit about AFL. Richmond sucks. Well, they do now. Definitely. But he is a premiership player, triple premiership player, and it is a personally signed, and it's in a lovely slab. So it is a great prize. And definitely not worthless. Definitely. I'm just showing Instagram. Congratulations to Mark. Thanks for tuning into the live. Sydney, man. Hey, I still remember, mate. 2012, drunk as fuck. Message me on Instagram, buddy. Yeah, please. You got Beckett Boy on Instagram? Definitely. Or my personal one, whichever one you want. But yeah, I'm very active on Instagram. I always check it every day. So send me that, mate. I will sort you out big time. But yeah, 2012, Mick. Mick, are you from Sydney? You have to be. Mark, this could be the thing that gets you. You know what, Mark? I'm challenging you, Mark, to PC this card. I'm challenging you. Will you be turned to a Richmond? You know what? I'll tell you one thing, Mark. Wollongong. Okay, you might as well be in Sydney. My great auntie was from Wollongong. Actually, Shell Harbour. You know where Shell Harbour is, Mick? Just south of Wollongong. Yeah, right. Yeah, Wagga. Is it Shell Harbour? It is Shell Harbour. I haven't been there since I was a kid. Go the gong. Mate, Wollongong. Illawarra. He's an Illawarra man. Yeah. Shell Harbour, mate. Used to go there as a kid for Christmases and stuff. Yeah. Nice little place. Yeah, my great auntie. My nan lived in Sydney in Randwick, and we used to drive to Wollongong area and stay in Shell Harbour. Bloody beautiful. Mark, you're now a Richmond supporter, buddy. You don't have a say in this. Everyone who votes Mark to be a Richmond supporter, Instagram, is Mark now a Richmond supporter? You're going to have a team, buddy. Who do you follow? Who is your actual team? NRL? NBL? NBA? Nobody. Yeah, Shell Harbour, man, great holiday spot, really is. I got a lot of childhood memories from there. We used to go there. It was awesome. Nice little quiet sort of spot, but you'd have to appreciate it. Nice little beaches and stuff. It was beautiful. I think do we get the spinner going again to vote if Mark becomes a full-blooded Richmond supporter? Dusty, mate. Mark, I will say, are you over Brent? Oh my God. Brent Harvey, Boomer Harvey. Theo's chips, yes. Boomer Harvey, mate. That's actually a good one, Brent Harvey. Keep that one. He was a gun. Great player. But I was going to say, Mark, if you do decide to jump on the Richmond bandwagon, biggest bunch of bandwagon mofos there are, because their team was shit. Absolutely shit before they won in 2017. Ridiculous shit. Like, you know, yeah, I can't even describe it. Did anyone watch it in 2013 when Carlton, I think it was the year that Essendon got the drug saga? Oh, you're in Brisbane, Mark. Oh, mate, Fitzroy would work then, right? Fitzroy would work. You could, because they merged with Brisbane. Fitzroy Lions, Brisbane Lions. I hate Brisbane. Fucking hate them because they beat us twice in the grand final, 2002-03. Never, ever forget. It's the Irish blood of me all the way. Fuck Brisbane. Even though I'm from, technically, I'm just down the road. But I was born in New South Wales. I'll never, ever say I'm a Queenslander, even though I've lived in Queensland my entire life. But I grew up in Southport, and the Southport Sharks, before they were the Sharks, were the Southport Magpies. That's a true story. And they donned the colours, and I lived around the corner from them. We used to go and watch them train. And our whole street, and this is why I went for Balmain Tigers as well in the NRL. Our whole street, it was a weird street, right? Everyone in our street followed the AFL. This is in the 80s. The AFL was called the VFL back then, and the New South Wales Rugby League, as it was called back then. There wasn't the NRL. This is prior to both of those. And everyone went for Balmain because the Southport Tigers Rugby League Club and the Southport Magpies were on the same training ground, this big giant multiple fields. And they had this thing. And there was a touch side there as well. It was like this big giant thing, and they were like an affiliate. So everyone went for the Magpies and the Tigers. So growing up, that's where I was. Oh, Balmain. Fuck. Which one hurt the most, 88 or 89? Fucking 89 for me. It just ripped my heart out. Lost in overtime. That was fucked. That really was. Yeah, 89 definitely, man. We were fucking belting Canberra. We were up 12-2 at halftime. 12-2 at halftime. 88 hurt, but I felt that Terry Lamb, when he punched Ellery Hanley and knocked him out under the radar, if you go back or slapped him and knocked him out, that changed the game because we were in control of that game too. And as soon as we lost Ellery Hanley, it was game over. But 89, it's like when the best team loses. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they have. Oh, fuck. My mum goes for Parramatta, Mick. My mum grew up in Granville. So, yeah, fuck. She actually quit following the sport because of her team. That is a true story. That's how fucked Parramatta are. Sorry to rub that in. But it's definitely true. But yeah, I don't think the Tigers will win another one for a long, long time. Yeah. Wests. I fucking hated Wests. Yeah, sorry to rub that in, man, but it's the truth and you know it. It sucks when you know your team is shit, but you still follow. Like you know what I mean? Like it's fucked. And I've been through it with Collingwood. They sort of were okay for a couple of years, towards the end of Buckley's coaching thing, but there was years there where you're just like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on with my team? Yeah, fucking sports. What do they do to our heads? What the fuck does it do to our heads? It's fucked up, isn't it? Benny's kid. Oh my God, yeah, fuck. That 89, man. 89, I just want to say this, and like I just said, like it's when you know you're the best team. We were way better than Canberra. We were fucking way better than Canberra, man. I know Canberra had a great side. They had fucking, a young, was it Laurie Daly? They had that fullback was a gun fullback. Belcher was a Belcher. They had good forward. We had a dominant forward pack. Our whole forward pack was the Australian forward pack minus Steve Edmed, who was actually the New South Wales tight head prop. Yeah, it gives us an excuse, mate. Absolutely. Gives us an excuse. Every year, still to this day, we do the grand final double over at my mate's house. We watch them both religiously. And there's, some crazy, crazy moments. Probably 20 years of us doing that, way back to, I'd say, when did we start? Probably 03 or 04. 04, Port Adelaide versus Brisbane that year. And who was it playing in the NRL that year? I can't remember. Was that a year the Broncos won? I can't remember. Ciro, Blocker, Benny, Gary. Our forward pack, man. Our forward pack. I mean, if you looked at our team, you'd just be, we had a young Timmy Brasher. He wasn't I think he was on the bench, man. He was a utility. He wasn't the starting fullback at that point. It was who was the dad of the guy that used to play for the Sydney Swans? What's his name? Fuck. Someone enlighten me. He won a premiership with the Sydney Swans. His dad played for Balmain. Gary Jack. Yes. And I was thinking of what's his son's name? He had two sons, and they both played for the Sydney Swans. One of them won a premiership. But Gary Jack, yeah, he was one of the best fullbacks ever. But our forward pack, man, fuck. Ciro, Edmed, who was the hooker? Benny Elias. We had Maguire and Sirinen as our second row, and the best ever lock in the history of the game, Wayne Pearce. Do you remember that guy? Wayne Pearce was a fucking animal, man. He was an absolute, he was one of the first skillful forward players. Yeah. He was our captain, for fuck's sakes. Do you remember that? And he was also the captain of, he captained New South Wales for years. He was like the best player in fucking, and he was the vice captain, I think, to Wally Lewis on the Kangaroos. Yeah. Yes. Say it loud and proud. He was probably the second best player behind Wally Lewis for that whole period, Wayne Pearce. No one talks about him ever, but he was our captain. Don't forget that. And our best player. He was a fucking great player. Yeah. Do you remember Pearce, though? Pearce was a vegetarian. He was a health freak. Well, the rest of them were all drinking and smoking and shit. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. Because that was still, players still did that back then, drank and smoke, because they would just run it all off. He didn't eat shit food. He was one of the first dudes that was like a beast. But yeah, it was a different era back then, wasn't it? Different era. All right, what time are we? 2.5 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, or I should say gentlemen, I don't think there's actually been any women on here, has there? Yeah, it was only part-time, mate. They all had jobs, They all had jobs back then. Almost every sport in Australia wasn't a full-time gig back then. Basketball, all the football codes, you had another job, Yeah, it's changed a lot, hasn't it? Cliffy Lyons, the old, the Manly legend. Yep. Remember Cliffy Lyons? Good God. I did see, but mate, I think Sharon, yeah, I saw a Sharon, maybe she started talking in, I was going to say Arabic then, but no, it was like Russian or something. So I think it was a spam bot account. I don't know what the fuck happens with that. Why someone would waste their time spamming my channel. I'm a small YouTuber. There was two of them. There was a Sharon and a something else, but they just said something in weird fucking hieroglyphics and then left. So I met and I got his autograph. I don't have it anymore, but you guys remember Dale Shearer, the journeyman, played for Manly, Gold Coast when they were the Giants, I think. I think he played for North Sydney Bears as well, and I think he did a stint at the Broncos. Dale Shearer. Do you guys remember him? He played a lot of games for Queensland too. Yeah, he was a good player, just a utility. Played anywhere, played all positions in the back line, and I think he even played a bit of lock. He could just do everything, that guy. Seagulls, the Gold Coast Seagulls, yeah. I don't know, but did he win a premiership with Brisbane or Manly? Maybe. I remember when we were at the Seagulls because we used to go and watch them when they played at Tweed. They were the Giants and they became the Seagulls again because the Seagulls are still there, Seagull Stadium. There's a massive stadium that holds about, I want to say 30-something thousand, and it's getting used by, I think, tier 2 or 3 in our rugby league competition. I'm being serious. And it used to be used by the first tier comp when Gold Coast had a team before the other Titans, like years and years ago. And I think if you guys remember, Wally Lewis was their captain for a while after he left the Broncos. He played for a number of years down here when they were the Giants and then the Seagulls. He played for both, and he was the captain. Remember that? They had all the, I wouldn't say the rejects, but they did have a lot of like players that were moved on, you know, from their teams. They'd already had their heyday, and Wally Lewis was one of them. I remember. The old Seagulls. All right. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. Before your time, yeah, this was, I want to say 89, 90-ish. Oh, fucking hasn't it been? It was worse back then. Like you had guys that were like from the 70s and late 70s and early 80s that were like on their last leg. You know, it was incredible. And they just take them all in because they had experience. You know, they had, they got belted every week. They were just so over the hill. It was like old men running around against, young, fit dudes. But yeah, no, I appreciate that, guys. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Mark. H10. Everyone else who joined in as well. There's been a lot of people on this stream. It's been great. Got into looks like it's peaked in the 30s, but probably only, 8 or 10 people actually talking. But yeah, I think it's bedtime, boys. Rock on. Thank you very much for jumping on with me and representing. It is 11 p.m. I think I'm going to have some dinner because it's gone for almost 3 hours. Sensational stuff. Mark, I think you've already gone to bed, mate, but just message me on Instagram and we'll sort that shit out. I will try and, yeah, definitely. I'm going to have a lot of shit coming out, guys. So, yeah, just stay tuned. If you're on Facebook and Instagram, follow me over there because I'll always, post weekly or whatever. I'm not really a daily poster, but I will post weekly. Try to get some more YouTube stuff out, but hopefully I will post if we're going to be on this next Friday. I'd like to lock it in and try and do a regular thing, even if it's not giveaways, just get on here and talk and have some fun, do other competitions and stuff. But yeah, definitely the giveaways is a fun thing to do. So I know you guys love it, but that's going to wrap it up, guys. And we will see you all. Yeah, I'm going to be dropping some heat on YouTube, bro. Don't worry about that. We've got some big things coming out. So going to be some more card grading guides. We've got some reviews, some crossover stuff. I've got a whole lot of ideas, tons of stuff written down. And hopefully some other things as well that I won't talk about yet, but we will get into some really cool stuff that hopefully will come to fruition, but I don't want to talk about it and jinx myself. So yeah, some really cool stuff on the horizon, boys. Perfect radio face. It's funny. My wife says the same thing. She goes, "You got the voice and the face." I'm like, I don't know about that. I got a fucking, yeah, whatever. Anyway, each to their own. Lads, until next week, Instagram, we're all going to peace out at the same time here. Thank you everybody for joining and tuning into the show. But yeah, big things for Becca Boy coming up. We're going to smash 1,000 subs soon. My goal is 5, maybe 10,000 subs by the end of the year. And then we'll really have the ball rolling. I do really appreciate you guys who have been around since the start, and this is still the start. So rocking on, lads. Until next week, peace.